So this is going to be a tutorial for Momoland Hug Me. I've made some improvements on what I played on my cover. There's a couple chords that I had slightly off or whatever. But for the most part, I had gotten a lot of it down by ear. So this is just going to be an updated tutorial of what it sounds like they're playing. And there's two guitars in the song. I'm just going to focus on the main one. So if you're listening to the song, if you listen to the instrumental, you'll hear what I'm talking about. But basically, you have one doing most of the rhythm. There's another one that kind of comes in here and there, like in the pre-chorus and the chorus and stuff, the bridge. So I'm going to start off and just tell you what's being played. And it's in standard tuning, so you're just going to have, you know, E, A, D, G, B, E, and that's about it. So. Now you can finger pick it or use a pick. It sounds like they're finger picking a little bit of it, especially because they're doing some plucking here and there, but you can use a pick if you want. Basically though, you're going to start off here. You're going to bar the 3rd fret and put one finger here and one here, okay? I mean, you don't have to put this one here, but basically it's this chord. And all you're going to do is go down, so come up. So you're going to hit that string. It's going to sound like that. The second one, you're just taking that off and you're hitting the A note. So it's going to be like that. Alright. That's all it's doing. Then you go up here. Now this is the one where it's a little tricky, and what you're doing basically is if you want to get it the way it sounds, you would be barring the 3rd fret still, and you would put one finger here, one here, and one there, okay? And it's going to sound like this. It's kind of weird. So if it's a little easier, or to make it easier, instead of borrowing it, just put this finger, if you can stretch, on the 3rd there, because you're only hitting these 4 notes. Just like that, or if you have a pick. Alright. And then the 3rd chord is this. Again, you're hitting this note, those notes there, which is essentially, you're just hitting a D minor 7th. You can play it here if you want. Which is just making a D minor 7th chord, so you're just going to put these two fingers, or this finger on these 2 strings, and then this one on the 2nd fret. You're going to play from the D down. Just gonna pull off or whatever. Alright, it's the same thing. And then the last thing, you're just gonna hit a G sustained G. So you're gonna do like make a G shape. Now most people, when you make a G, most songs, you're gonna just play it like this. One finger here, here, and here. For this song, whenever I do like a G sus, I would usually use these 2 fingers instead as these 2, instead of those 2. So up here, and you're gonna put this finger on the B string on the 1st fret. So you're just gonna kind of do that, and take it off. That's it. So also, if you want, you can just, you don't have to put a finger there, you can just mute it with this one, so you're just playing the top. If you want to get there quick. So basically that's the intro chords, and the little picking thing they're doing. And we go into the verse, and I'll show you what's being played in the verse. Alright, so it starts off with a C. just gonna make a normal C, okay? Just like that. I'm just gonna pluck it. And just hammering on that. And you only hammer on the first time. I did kind of like this in my cover, again, because I was just going based off. It was hard to figure out everything with all the vocals and stuff, but then I heard the instrumental afterwards and I thought, I should have done that. But anyways, you're going from a C to an A minor 7th, and you're just plucking it. Just like that, to a D minor 7th, and just again, to that G sus. Like, and it's doing something kind of like this, like a, it's like hammering on there. Something like that. It repeats. And basically, just play that G sus again. Now, what you could do is, just like I showed you how to play it here, you know, use these fingers. Instead of using this one, if you can bar these two here and just play and hit this note, because it hits this note before it goes to the next chord. Alright, so that's the verse. One more time. Hold on. Whoops. Finger picking isn't my strong suit. Something like that. Now the next chord you're going to is this. So basically you're going to put one finger here, one up here, and then you're going to have a finger right there. So what I do is I usually use these fingers, or you can do it like this. But anyways, it's going to sound like this if you just hit it. And just kind of pluck it. This is when the other guitar comes in, so you're going to hear some other notes in there. Then you go to an F. And you can just play a bar chord F. I'm doing the same exact thing, I'm just not playing the top or the bottom string. So I'm just putting these fingers where a normal F bar chord would be. Here, here, and here. And I'm just putting this finger there. Go back to this chord again. Then you're going to go to this. So you're going to make an A shape. Take off the middle one and slide this finger up. So it's going to sound like this. And you're going to move it down. Alright, so that's the start of it. So I'm just going to go here. Then you go to this, which is like a B over G. And all you got to do is just hit this string and this one, and you don't have to play the E on the top or bottom. So you're just going to pluck it once, and then this is where you got to be quick, because it goes to this, it sounds like it goes to this C sharp over A type chord. So make an A shape if you can with these three fingers. Alright, and then basically what you're doing is you're playing an A shape, but you're playing the note up here, that C sharp over A. So what I do is I usually will bar it. So alright, so I'll do it one more time. It goes to a D minor 7th, and you can just play it normal or hammer on this, something, or just play it straight. A D dominant 7. Goes to this chord. Back to that G sus. Something like that. Okay, so it's gonna be. So basically what you're playing on the chorus now is you're going to go to a D minor 7th, da, 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 and you're just going to, and they're just basically playing a D minor 7th just like I showed you before, but they're just picking off, they're taking that note. So, and all you're doing is you end up playing just those. Playing that G sus, back to that chord I showed you in the pre-chorus, to an A minor 7th, or whatever you want to play there. It goes back to this chord again, D minor 7th, back to that G sus, to this C type chord, and what you're going to do is you just put one finger here, one here, one here, and you can pluck it, or you can do like a, you're just basically hammering on that. Doesn't really matter what you, but it's kind of like that. Then you're gonna go to this chord again. So, or, so let's do it. Back to this again. Back to that. I used to think it was an F there, so after you finish that, the last time you go here, and you're just doing that same A 7th or whatever, and you move it up, then it goes to a D minor 7th. Now I thought originally in my cover it was an F type chord, because it kind of sounds like it fits, but when I listened to the song, when I listened to it back before the instrumental, it sounded like they had that D note there, almost like a D minor 7th again. So it could be a D minor 7th, and you can just throw your pinky up here, something like that. And then what it does is it hits that D minor 7th again. And then what I do is it's kind of doing like a walk-on. But the way I do it is I just pluck it. So you're gonna have one finger here, one here, okay? On 7th and 8th fret, and you're just gonna pluck the top, the bottom, and that open G string. And just move a half step down each time. So kind of like, or, that's all I gotta do. Back to that G sus. And it goes into, back into that little pre-chorus type melody. just like before. It really doesn't matter how you pick it. Now when you go to the bridge, you're going to come up here and make a D minor 7th shape and move it up a half step because it's going to be an F minor 7th. So, I mean, if you're used to making any kind of shape like that, it's basically a minor 7th. It's just like making an A minor 7th down here, but you're going to slide it, which is just, normally you just use those two fingers. Instead, use these two fingers, one there, and slide it all the way up to the 8th fret, starting here. Alright. And all you're going to do is basically you're just playing that chord and you're hammering on this note, which is, so it's going to sound like, so they might be doing it down here somewhere, but anyways, I just did it here. Back to a B flat, or down to a B flat, to that C chord again. Back to this. B flat to a G sus. So those are the chords in the bridge. It's you can just play it all the way through, or strum, or do whatever it is, but those are the chords being played. Then it goes into the chorus again, but softer. Oh yeah. Anyways, so when it goes in here, it's basically, you're just going back to that D minor 7, back to that G sus, whatever you want to do there. You're going to this, that same chord, but you're just picking like the middle. You can just pick the middle notes. Just kind of walk down to that A minor 7th, but put your finger here, this pinky ones, because you're going to go, or, and you go back to this, or a G sus, G, whatever, back to this, and then from there it's just like the chord. Like I showed you before, then it goes back to that one outro thing. Back to that G sus, and then you're going to end on like a C major 7th. Anyways, that's the song. Sorry if I rushed through any of it. But if you want to play it, just pluck it with your fingers, or you can use a pick. Either way is fine. For me, it's good practice for my fingers because I don't do it that too often. I usually play with a pick. So, but anyways, hopefully it helped, and I hope you guys have a nice day.